thing is, if you play BB's vocal melodies on guitar, you're playing guitar just like BB King. You know? Because that's what he did. And I'm not, you know, I'm not a great singer. I get to sing 1 or 2 songs a night in Sugar Ray and the Blue Tones, and I do the ones I'm best at. Because I'm not an idiot, but I think people, you know, seeing the Blue Tones, it gives the impression that I'm kind of a better singer. But, so I kind of try to play guitar like the singer I'd want to be. Which, you know, some of that is just trying to get beyond just the fretted note and, you know, different ways to make it sing, you know. There are different kinds of bends and vibrato. You know, someone like Otis Rush has that beautiful, which is, Otis Rush is huge for me. Or like Magic Sam had a quicker sort of, which is again the same way he sang. He had a very fast vibrato when he sang, or of course BB. And that's, you know, the same note, but those are 3 different ways of approaching it. So my playing was getting more and more vocal and bendy and slippery. So I started thinking, well, hell, you know, I bet I could try to play slide guitar, you know, without actually using a slide, just using the same kind of bends, because slide guitar was all about the human voice. So one of my favorites was Robert Nighthawk. Stuff, but in standard tuning, and I didn't get very far with that, but it was fun, just as an exercise in how can I get this guitar to respond, to do what I hear in my head without changing all my settings, or without, like, okay, now I'm going to, you know, pick up a metal guitar with finger picks and a slide and try to be John. You know, that's not going to work. You know, and I kind of like just sort of having the thing I do, but, you know, changing it up a little bit. But I did try to get, like, that muddy. Unreasonably nice. You know, I mean, you know, people will come up and be so effusive and just nice, and I'm just like, that's the way I feel about everyone I've seen. You know, I mean, Debbie and I have known each other a long time. We've played together a lot over the years, and she still surprises me with how great she can be. You know, like even I know she's great. But then I'll play with her and I'll be like, oh, right. You know, like Chris, I mean, Chris is like BB King on Mars. Because he'll start playing things that are totally familiar to me and it feels like, you know, home. It feels like, you know, getting into a warm bed because he's playing stuff that's so familiar, and then whoops, there he goes into the stratosphere. And so it's both familiar and it feels good, but it's also totally surprising. You know, I can think of, right off the top of my head, I can think of 5 songs. Sorry. I'm sorry, I think in complete paragraphs. But thank you.
got so much inside him that wants to come out. That's why we play, you know?
The voices tell me what to do. It's just B.B. King and Muddy Waters voices.
But we haven't heard yet from one of the most popular players, from one of the most popular bands on the boat, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, across the country, I want to hear what Slick Nick has to say. Give it up, everybody.
First of all, please give it all to Debbie Davies putting on this wonderful event here. This is really cool. I mean, I really do feel kind of silly sitting next to John here with the dobro. Resonator. But no, yeah, growing up down in Kansas City area, it's down right where the Missouri Hills kind of end and it goes into the Kansas Plains. And we grew up in a little town called Rich Hill, Missouri. It's an old coal mining town and it dried up. And when the coal was mined out, the town just kind of died. And so it seemed really, you know, long, and you could see the sun setting over the Kansas Plains, and it just felt like really long, big notes. I just go. Song I wrote for my little girls called "You're Too Big to Carry." I have my story to her too. Yeah. My father, he was also into Mr. Johnny Winter. When he had a Firebird, he used to play this 76 Firebird. I loved it, man. I loved it so much. And on Saturday afternoons, he'd be putting Johnny Winter records on. And so he got me into this Meantown blues. Told me, my mama told me, boy. My mama told me, and my papa told me. My mama told me, boy. It's a mean old town when you're living on your own. When you're living on your own, living on your own. When you live on Of course, I take it up a little bit. I like to make things kind of my own. Yes. That really reaches into my heart more than than a lot of stuff. I love to, like Monster Mike was saying, we pick up a lot of different styles of blues, and being from Kansas City as well, there's a lot of swing. There's a lot of swing to it, man. Some jazzy changes and stuff. I mean, Chris and I were kind of talking about that. You find the licks that you really like, and just kind of put things together the way you hear them, especially when you're from Mars.
Yeah. My favorite Martian.
Absolutely, yeah. First time I saw Chris Cain was with Roger down in Delaware, the Delaware Blues Festival, I think it was. That was 15 years ago, maybe. It was awesome. For me, me up then, tear me up now.
Well, I gotta ask you, do you have a name for that axe you're playing there?
I don't. I had some, but this one over here, some guy came up to me, he goes, what's the name of that guitar? I said, it's America. America.
How about you, Mike?
Sometimes I'll go up to my guitar and go, you. No, but, the main guitar I played all through the 90s, and I still play it a bunch, is a blue Stratocaster that is not this one, and that one is just the blue Strat. And now I have to figure out a way to differentiate because, the other blue one. This one's the other blue one.
What about if we all just kick off a little jam together?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a little Freddie King or something like that. What do you think? Little shuffle? All right, how about the stumble? Y'all into it? Kia E from the 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
You might get a chance to see them again because Chris Cain's got a jam session on the pool deck this afternoon.